Hi, my name is Rachel, and today I'm going to show you my lesson plan for a design challenge using Pixton, a comic strip creation software. This assignment is designed to help students review for an exam by having them create a comic strip on an event that will be on their exam. They will then share it with their classmates, allowing them to review multiple events and learn from each other. I call this lesson historical storytelling. And it was for my Education 422 class at Cal State San Marcos with Dr. Chen. I envision this activity for middle school age students, and it uses history and technology, so it is a great STEAM project. And as I said before, they use Pixton as a creation software to review their course material for exams. I am envisioning this one as a American Revolution exam, but again, it can be applied to many different topics. And the content learning goals, it goes with the California Department of Education Standard 8.1. Students understand the major events preceding the founding of a nation and relate their significance to the development of American constitutional democracy. And then also California Standard 8.4, students analyze the aspirations and ideals of the people of the new nation. It also links into the technical learning goals of the California Common Core State Standard, using teacher-developed guidelines to evaluate multimedia presentations for organization, content, design, presentation, and appropriateness of citations. And then also use a variety of media to present information for specific purposes, reports, research papers, presentations, and others. So let's get started. Give you a brief overview of what I envision the timetable for this lesson plan to look like. I will be linking this on my website, but you're going to have a pre-assessment and then refresh students on Pixton works. I do not recommend doing this if your students have never worked with Pixton before. I would say let them do something with Pixton before and start to understand it, and then they can use it for this assignment. You don't want to use lots of class time on this one if they can learn how to use it before. Then you're going to introduce the assignment, group the students, and you want to give them as much time as possible to work on their comics because it is so fun that they're going to want to really make it detailed and put a lot of effort into it. And it's very important that they get to explore each other's Pixtons. So they're different comic strips. They can walk around and do like a gallery walk, but that way they're also learning what all the other students did on their events, and that way they can get an understanding of all of them and not just the one they did themselves. And then of course it's important to have a discussion and reflection so that students can highlight ones that they saw, highlight things that they learned and that other students might not have picked up on. And then we end with the post-assessment. But to get into more of the mechanics as to how this would work, you would log on to Pixton with your classroom. And I'm already logged in, so you would get to go into this class. Okay, and I already completed my design challenge, which I'll be showing you in a second, but if they wanted to complete a new comic, they could just click New Comic in the corner, name it on whatever event they wanted to do, and then they could design a comic based on the event that is the Boston Massacre. And what's really cool about Pixton is that once it loads, you can create many different backgrounds on here. You can create your own characters, and you can add in as many as you want, and it's very easy. So I could have this person as my character and pick a background, something with the 4th of July maybe, and then there we go. And I could put him in a colonial looking area. Captions, and it will show up for their own speech. They can create different facial expressions and actions, etc. My final product look like, and what I would be using as an example for my students. What I would emphasize is that there is no one way to do this. It is very important that they get to really flex their own creativity in this one and do it however they want. So I did mine as two students in a library, Harry and Louie. They're studying for their test, and they talk about what the cause of the Boston Tea Party was, emphasize what the issue was with taxation, throw in some key names there, Sam Adams, John Hancock, Paul Revere, and flash them back to the U.S. in 1773, and have the Sons of Liberty be talked about, and then again showing the Boston Tea Party and basically just the entire event, but in a fun way. And it's only 8 slides. I would recommend 6 to 10 slides, but I think it can go as long as they want, as long as they are not wasting a lot of time and they get the story across. We want to keep it concise. A couple different ways that students can do this is they can put themselves as reporters, going back in the past and reporting on it. They can just have two students having a conversation about the details. They can have it set in that time period, and as a person going through the event, the sky's the limit, and it's whatever their creativity wants them to do. The next step is to have the students break into groups after you show them what they're doing. I would recommend groups of 2, just because that way you can have 2 people talking and brainstorming, and it also lets them collaborate on their own ideas. And you provide the different topics that you know you'll be covering on the exam. So if you give them the different topics, then those are the ones they can cover, and I would recommend that you tell them which ones they want to do so you don't have repeats. I hope this lesson plan goes over well in your classroom and that your students enjoy it and it helps them to retain the information and have a good time learning their course material and, of course, reviewing for their exam. Thank you for watching.